See, you are learning microservices, and today's topic is building a monolith application. So, what is a monolith application? A monolith application is a traditional software architecture in which all the components and functionality of an application are tightly integrated into a single code base and deployed as a single cohesive unit. Also, in a monolithic application, there is usually a single database that serves the entire system, and all the software components, including the user interface, business logic, data access layers, are all part of the same application. So, let's suppose you are building an e-commerce application that takes orders from the consumers, verifies inventory and available credits, and ships them. The application consists of several components, including a storefront UI, which implements the user interfaces, along with some backend services for checking credits, maintaining inventory, and shipping orders. This application is deployed as a single monolith application. You can run multiple instances of the same application behind a load balancer in order to scale and improve the availability. So this application is having like multiple modules. It is having user management module, catalog management, order management, payment management, supplier management, and all these modules you can see here. This all are part of the single deployable unit. These all are part of the single code base, and all these modules and its respective services, they all access to a single database, single centralized database. They do not have their respective and separate databases. They cannot run independently. So all these modules, submodules, services, and database all are part of a single deployable unit. All are integrated into a single application. So it is having the user management. The user management, it is responsible for authorizing and authenticating the user. When the request comes, it goes to the consumer service, and consumer service, it goes, it queries the database, it checks for the user authentication and authorization, and accordingly it responds back to the user. Then the catalog management is there. So whenever a user goes and tries to add an item to cart, it goes to the product service, it checks for the inventory, and then it allows the user to add that particular product into the cart, and then the user goes ahead and he or she can modify the card, and then goes ahead and they can order a particular product. So it goes to the order management module again, and order management module, it goes to the order service, and it allows the user to make the order, and then it goes to the payment service, the payment management module. It allows the user for the payment authorization with the respective bank or credit card company, and then it goes to the database, and it does the required query and the payment related information. And then once the payment done, the order placed successfully, then you have the supplier management module, where the shipment starts. It goes to this shipment service, and then shipment from the shipment service, it goes to the delivery service to deliver the product to the consumer. So it is having its business layer, all this like user management, catalog management, order management, product payment management, and supplier management. These are all part of the business logic layer. And then you have the data access layer. You have the application integration through the services. So the application integration integration with other services, it happens via the messaging or the REST API, or integration with any other data sources. Uh, then you have a data access layer, the data access objects responsible for accessing the database. You have the presentation layer here. So it is responsible for handling HTTPS request and responding with either with HTML or JSON or XML for web services APIs. Then you have your front end. So front end is a web application, e-commerce web application, which could be accessible from the laptop, desktop, tablet, PC, or from the mobile device. Front-end access and front-end can make all these operations with the e-commerce web application. So authenticate or authorize users, check product inventory, add items to cart, modify item in cart, place order, authorize payment, process shipment, deliver product. So all operations are part of a single application unit, single monolithic application unit. So e-commerce web application system operations. So all these operations are get performed on this single deployable unit or single developed unit. Coming to the pros and cons of the monolithic application. So the pros is it is simple to develop, simple to test, it's simple to build, deploy, and scale. So how it is simple to develop, test, build, deploy, and scale? Because at the earliest stage of the application is very small. So at the very earliest stage, it is easy and simple to develop and simple to test, build, deploy, and scale. Since it is a small unit, a small application, and everything is there in a single unit, so it is simple to develop, test, build, deploy, and scale. But the cons is it is complex and hard to manage. So as the time goes, the application becomes so bigger. It becomes very complex and hard to manage. Centralized database for all data storage. So as you saw in the diagram, it is having only one database, and this database is being accessed from all the services: consumer service, product service, order service, payment service, shipment service, and delivery service. All services access the same database. These services are not having their own dedicated database so that they can store and query their own database, their own data to that dedicated databases. So they all they all query and store the data into the centralized database. Debugging and maintaining the monolithic code base. So debugging and maintaining a monolithic code base is a complex task, since it is having a single code base and single code base for all these modules, all these services, and everything which is there in this single application, single monolithic application. It is having a single code base and single project. So it is very tough to debug and maintain the monolithic code base. Monolithic applications may consume more resources. So it is true that monolithic application consumes more resources because monolithic applications, they deploy as a single deployable unit. So they, since they do not deploy independently, so it is having like multiple services and multiple modules and other components which all goes and deploys as a single unit. It consumes more resources. is a scaling a monolithic application. So since all these components and services that deploys as a single unit, it is not so easy to scale this application. So if my order service is getting more requests and this service is facing like uh, very high traffic, and then if I have to order, if I have to scale this order service, then I cannot just scale single order service. Instead, I have to scale the whole application. I have to scale the entire application. So that's the drawback. So that is where scaling a monolithic application is not so easy. Single technology task. So this monolithic application, it develops on a single technology. So if I have to uh, implement multiple technology for the multiple services which you can see here, or for the multiple modules, let's say for the payment management and payment service, if I have to develop it using Python language, and order management, order service, this I have to develop using C#, I cannot go for that. So it does not allow that. So it always allow a single technology stack. Either I can go for the Python or I can go for the C#. Then larger development teams working on the same code base. It has been seen that the larger teams they work on the same code base. So it is having the user management and consumer service. This second module, third, fourth, and fifth module. So for all these modules, there could be five different teams. They work together, but it is very tough to, and since they are accessing the same code base, so coordination is the big challenge when it comes to maintain the code base. Since it is having the single code base and all five teams are accessing the same single code base, they are um, they are adding, modifying, and on a daily basis they are doing the check-in of their codes and check out of the codes. So it is very, it is not so easy to maintain that. And deploying the changes. Deploying the changes is another challenge. So suppose I have my order service and it requires some changes. I have made the changes just for the order service, but I cannot go ahead and just deploy my order service. Instead, I have to build and deploy the whole unit, the whole application I have to build and deploy. So that's the another challenge in this monolithic application. Tight coupling and cohesion. So you can see each services how tightly it is coupled. So one service, so you can see the order service, it is depending on the payment service, shipment service, delivery service on the shipment service, and shipment service on the delivery service. So if one service goes down, the another service cannot work, or the entire system, entire this application will go down. They can, one cannot work independently, or one cannot deploy independently, or one cannot uh, tested independently. So that is where it has been seen as a tight coupling in this system. Then coming to the drawbacks, another drawbacks, like it is potentially difficult to understand and maintain due to its the application size and complexity. Potentially less team autonomy. All teams are contributed to the same code base, so they need to coordinate their work more often. Potentially slow deployment pipeline, since there is a single large application that need to build and test it. It always supports single technology stack. The application uses a single technology stack, which might not be ideal for all subdomains. If all the application is large, upgrading the technology stack might be very time consuming. So these are the pros and cons of this monolithic application. Uh, and I'm concluding the video now. Thanks for watching.